What's up, soccer friends? Welcome to Kickback Committee. We're glad you're here. I'm Susannah Fuller alongside my girl and fellow committee member, Brianna Pinto, who also happened to have a birthday recently. So happy belated birthday, Brianna.
Thank you. It's always a blessing to see another year. I spent it on game day and we got a win, so I am overjoyed.
Oh, I know. That had to be a tremendous birthday present. We're going to chat more on that game against Bay FC in just a bit. But it was Walker Zimmerman's birthday last week. So this is just like the committee birthday crew.
The May babies. It's a great time.
What's your sign? What is May?
I'm a Gemini.
A Gemini. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you feel like you fall into what a Gemini
I have no idea.
is? I know. I'm like
I feel like I'm the only one on the planet that
I don't really either.
Doesn't subscribe to the signs because I'm how there's so many people born on the same day every year. How are they all alike?
We're all not going to be alike. I know. The one thing, so I'm a Libra, and the one thing they say about Libras is that they're very indecisive. And I do find that to be true. So I'm like, okay, in some ways, I definitely live up to the Libra hype. But yeah, I don't really buy into it. I don't know what all the signs are, but we're so glad you were born, Brianna. And
Thank you.
We're so glad you're here and so delighted to have you as a member of the Kickback Committee. I saw on social media did you spend some time with family recently?
I sure did.
Oh,
we went back to North Carolina. Unfortunately, the game did not go our way, but it was obviously great to just see so many family and friends. Like having moved in January, it had been a minute since I had seen everybody, and just seeing the support, but also like the crowd. It was really incredible. Mm-hmm. As like a former Courage player, I was really proud of all the people that came out to support it because it was over 10,000. You could feel the energy. And then, of course, having my family and friends there was super special. So I really enjoyed just the time with them. I actually got to stay after and spend some time over the weekend. I got to see one of my best friends for her bachelorette. I actually got to see the Courage girls and catch up with them. So it was a good few days that we got to spend at home.
Good for the soul, you know? You need those moments. You definitely need those moments. I'm curious because I know that you come from such a big sort of soccer and sporting family. Like when you get together with the fam and your brothers say, like, do you guys talk soccer? Do you talk shop at all? Yeah,
absolutely. So one of the things that we do is we put our thoughts in the family group chat about how each of us are playing. So I know exactly what they're thinking at what minute. And then I'll review it after the game. And then when I watch film back, I'll take what they have to say into consideration and think about like what I could do differently, and what I can do better. So I know that it's coming from a place of love. Also, a lot of it's positive too. So they want to hype you up if you do something well. And they're trying to reinforce positive habits on the field. So
I love that. And I'm assuming you give it back to them too. You offer your.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because again, it makes it easier just having like an opinion that you trust. That's like maybe outside the team environment, because obviously you'll go over film with like your coaching staff and things like that. But
definitely
it gives you just a different insight on what it is that you did on the field.
Oh man, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Pinto Family Group Chat. I feel like there's some like serious soccer intel going on. You'd make me smarter. That's for sure.
Well, my older brother, he had a wonderful weekend with Arsenal, and my younger brother's a Chelsea fan. So,
oh my gosh, I know.
It's interesting seeing all the soccer news in the world right now.
There's a lot going on, Brianna, and we're gonna try to dive into as much of it as we can on this episode. Quickly though, just a reminder that Kickback Committee is part of Kickback Soccer Media. You can find us on Blue Sky and on Instagram. Also, make sure you check out all our other podcasts, including Soccer Wise, First Touch Weekly, and open mic. We're also now on SiriusXM, so catch us on the SiriusXM app or on select days on SiriusXM FC 157. All right, super fun show in store today. We're going to chat a little bit with Brianna on the Chicago Stars, a big weekend for them. We're going to hit on some of the big stories in the soccer world that we mentioned, including what was the final day of the Premier League season. We got to see Arsenal finally lift a trophy. Tottenham saved themselves. The end of the Pep Guardiola era at Manchester City, and some big farewells to Mo Salah and Andy Robertson at Liverpool. We're also going to chat some women's soccer, including the Women's Champions League final and CONCACAF W finals. Both happened at the weekend. Brianna has some really fun World Cup plans that I'm going to ask her about. She's taking a little tour, a mini tour around the States, so she's going to give us the deets on that. Also, guys, World Cup rosters are coming out fast and furious, so we're going to check out some of our favorite announcements, and also on a big one that just happened to be leaked over the weekend. Yeah, it was interesting, and of course it involved the U.S. men's national team. So we're gonna hit on that for sure, and of course a little TV talk, what we've been watching, anything that's on our radar right now. But first and foremost, Brianna, a huge and much needed win for the Stars this weekend on Sunday. 1-0 result against Bay FC on the road, which is great. 2 red cards for Bay FC in this one. So they were on the ropes early, but thankfully you guys made them pay. And it was so tremendous to see Mal Swanson score her first goal back after her maternity leave. I think it had been 18 months since her last goal. But, the feeling for you guys of, having kind of this tough run of form, how good did this result feel? How big of a relief?
Relief is a great way to put it, because it was a much needed win. We've started off the season not in the best note, and we've kind of struggled to score goals, and we've conceded a lot. So I think we came into this weekend just focusing even more on the details, how we could remain unified. So a lot of the big points of emphasis for this game were making sure that we were in close contact, keeping our lines compact, but also when there were dead balls, making sure that we came together in like a huddle to make sure that we were all on the same page. So those touch points where you look each other in the eyes and like instill belief in the group on the field, I think really went a long way. Obviously with the score line and the red cards, it was very, very crazy. Jordan Heidema drew the first red card, which was a breakaway and 1v1 defending. And I think you kind of had to take her down. And, then from that point on, we wanted to make sure that we were even more aggressive, trying to create and score goals. But the second red card was really, really interesting. The ball was hit over the top and it was misjudged by their goalkeeper, and she made a split second decision and handballed it outside the box. And, we were really reflecting on that. Like, what would you do in that moment if you were the goalkeeper?
Honestly, because I feel for them, because it's this just like this split second reaction, and you're vulnerable. You're so vulnerable to do the wrong thing. And it's just one of those things that, fortunately for you guys, it, helped your cause. But yeah, I'm always like, oh man, that's rough.
I actually try not to judge, because you're already down a man and you're trying to save a goal. I don't know that I wouldn't have done the same thing.
I know.
But I'm not a goalkeeper, so I have no idea. But thankfully, it played out in our favor. We also got a goal called back. I felt like the soccer gods were on our side, a birthday present for me. But back to Mal Swanson, having her back has been just a huge boost to our team, because she brings so much experience. She brings a fight drive that we really needed, and that aggression and that skill in the final third. So just the way she scored her goal and the passion that she had.
It was such a Mal Swanson goal too.
It was cool. She cut in from the right side, went to her left foot, and then found that near post. So I definitely think it was a moment of relief for the team, because we finally found our way after a long, long time.
Yeah. It feels like too, you guys get kind of this a break, right? Like after next weekend, I think you get like a month essentially before you guys play again. And to have a little bit, like for you guys, how important is it to enter this break not on a losing streak, having a little bit of wind in your sails and something to build on?
Well, so the break will be a second preseason for us because we're off the entire month of June. But we wanted to go into these last 2 games finding a way to get 6 points. That's our sole focus, because from, I'd say, like 9 to maybe, no, even like 13 to maybe like 8, the point differential is not that big. So 2 wins would do wonders for us heading into the break. And then we can regroup, get some players back healthy during the month of June, and then go into the July games hitting our stride. So we're really trying to take it one game at a time, fix the things that have been recurring issues for us, and just really instill belief, because again, I think it's hard when you hang your head after a series of losses, but if you can just find one thing to cling on, one thing that you feel like your team can be successful with, you'll find a breakthrough. And thankfully this weekend we did just that.
Yeah, it was great to see. Have you met Mel Swanson's little baby, Josie?
Yes, Josie is so
she
adorable.
Is cute
she came to our last home game. Yeah, and she is so baby.
Oh my
She's
God.
Like, she is the most adorable little thing. And it was cool seeing
the parents are pretty attractive, so the fishing from a good gene pool.
They had an event for their family's foundation, and getting to see just the 3 of them and how they support each other through their professional careers, and obviously with a newborn, I think it's really special because they've got a little dynasty over there. So the Swanson family is very special.
Have you been to a Cubs game yet?
I have. Okay. Yeah. So I got to go to the Cubs game. We were in the 1914 club. And I haven't been to a baseball game in a very long time. So I used to be a Yankees fan, like back in the day. But it was incredible. It was probably like the first warm day that we had in a while. They were playing against the Diamondbacks. They won the game. And I was there with like some of my club teammates from like youth soccer, who also happens to live in the city. And it was just so special because there's so much tradition in the Cubs franchise. Yeah, the songs Wrigley
is so magical, and like a day game, I just feel like it's such a like quintessential summer day out. Like if I had to pick my perfect summer day, it would be going to a day game at Wrigley Field. It's magical to me.
I absolutely had a blast.
Oh, I love that, and I'm glad you saw them win because they're in a little bit of a losing streak right now. We need some of that Stars magic to trickle over to the Chicago Cubs. So maybe Mal can, give Dansby a little bit of that, a little something, because they need it. All right. I'm curious about this break that's coming up, because you play San Diego on the 31st and then not again until July 5th. So as you mentioned, like this kind of month-long break, you have some pretty cool World Cup plans that you're going to take part of during that stretch. So can you kind of give us a little glimpse into your itinerary and what you have planned?
Yeah, so the entire month of June, we do not have games, but that doesn't mean that we're not training. Sure. I think this will hugely benefit our team just because we have a lot of injuries right now. So it'll just give people time to heal, to reset mentally and physically, and for us to just go back to the drawing board on our plans of how we want to play tactically. So I think the training time will be huge for us. Mm-hmm. In my downtime, though, I am going to the USA Turkey game in LA. I'm super excited for that. Our days lined up, so I was able to go because we actually are playing a scrimmage against Bay at the end of the month. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I was able to head over to Bay again after that. I do have conditional tickets to the USA round of 32 and round 16.
Okay.
So I am praying that they advance and take care of business because I would love to go to those as well. Those are probably less likely just because our games will be going again in July. But if not, I would love to gift them to my family members that are dying to go to games. So
my God.
I'm excited for just us to celebrate a World Cup that it's finally here, and I hope the turnout is everything that we can expect and more.
I know. I think, I've talked a lot on this show about like how I've just kind of been like very tepid about this World Cup, and I think the closer that we're getting, like, I'm starting to get the flutters of excitement again.
Mm-hmm.
And even hearing you talk about it, like that's yeah, it's going to be amazing. What do you think you're most looking forward to, just in terms of a game day experience? And have you been to a World Cup match before?
I've played in a couple of youth ones, and then I've been to two men's World Cups.
Okay.
I went to Russia in 2018 when we did the bid.
Awesome.
And then I went to Qatar, or Qatar, however you'd like to pronounce it. I went there in 2022.
Okay.
So 2018 and 2022 were two great World Cups. I got to see a lot of games with family and friends. And the thing I loved about the 2022 World Cup is everything was so close together. So you could go to so many different games.
I heard that it was so convenient for people.
It was really convenient, honestly. And I think it makes it a lot more challenging because we're covering so much space and 3 different countries, obviously. But my hope is that soccer fans all across North America will get to experience it, because it truly is epic.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. I'm going to live vicariously. Please be active on your socials so that I can have all the FOMO in the world as I watch you enjoy World Cup matches. That's going to be fantastic. No, we're going to be having fun. We're going to be doing our thing in New York City, but hopefully you can check in with us at least a few times. Give us the full report. Eyes on the ground. All right, let's get into some of the other big soccer stories. As of late Sunday, we saw the final match day of the Premier League season. Arsenal, after 22 years, finally lifting that trophy. You mentioned that your brother is an Arsenal fan.
He's been a fan since probably like 2006.
Oh my gosh.
His youth coach actually put him on to Arsenal, and ever since then he adopted them as his team, and he's been through the dumps with them and the moments of glory. I just, I would not consider myself an Arsenal fan through and through. However, I think Arsenal lies at the intersection between culture, community, fashion, identity, and they have just such a cool brand about them. And the outcry of celebration was really special because so many people across the world were so excited to see them end this drought.
I know. Well, as you well know, they have the reputation of bottling it at the end, and we've seen it recently. But I love that they just leaned into that and had the red champagne bottles that just say bottled it, and it's like, here it is in the champagne form. It was very clever. You're right. They do a tremendous job with their branding and community outreach and all of it. Do you have a Premier League team?
Yes, my team would be Manchester City, because they're the team I've seen play the most in person when they've come over here to the US. But again, I've been to England, but I haven't been for an EPL game. So I'm like, I can't really claim a team. So I watch all the teams and I cheer them on. I like good soccer. Honestly, I'm a fan of the game, a student of the game.
Appreciate that. So let's talk about the Pep farewell that we saw on Sunday, end of an era, and what a freaking era it was. From the time he took over at City, I mean, it was just, the man absolutely dominated. When you think about what Pep means to that club and the city of Manchester, and just kind of like, what he did in terms of raising the stature of Manchester City, what is his legacy going to be, do you think?
I actually think he changed the way that people coach the game. He Definitely revolutionized like formations. He put 11 ball handlers on the field and then gave them the agency to have fluidity to go anywhere on the field. So you're seeing a lot of what I like to call positionless soccer. And I think he kind of crowned that because he created a framework where people could bring their individual flair into a system, and it somehow all comes together and they're able to dominate and create and score goals. So I think his legacy will be stamped in the Premier League forever. I think he has well-deserved downtime.
Oh my God.
Just to step away, because coaching is tough and it is cutthroat.
At that level too, and when you think about the number of hours that man had to clock, it just, organizing training sessions, watching film, doing media, like that lift alone is just, I mean, it's such an all-encompassing, you never turn off. And I think we saw this when Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool. I mean, the man just, he was like, I'm tired.
He was only away for 5 months though. I'm curious how long Pep will stay away.
I know.
He's a winner at heart.
Oh,
you can see the passion the rage that he has.
100%. And that like competitive edge. Like if he's not competing, like what is that? How does that manifest in his daily life? I'm just throwing it out there. There's been some rumors. The man loves New York City. Like he lived there for a bit. His family loves it. So there is a little bit of chatter and hope that perhaps he could make his way to Major League Soccer. NYCFC, they're opening up this beautiful new stadium in a couple seasons. So yeah, I mean, how would you feel about Pep coming to North American soccer?
I would be excited about it because
yeah, I would too.
I mean, MLS is on the up and up. It's improving every year. There's been so many exciting games. So having a coach of his stature would only benefit the talent that we have here and bring more international superstars to the league, because we wouldn't want to play for him. Exactly. I actually had the chance to meet him when Manchester City played against Celtic at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina last year.
Okay,
in 2024.
Give me the tea. So, what was he like? Super
intense, but so friendly. Like when I asked for a picture, he was really kind, and he asked like if I played for the team there at the Courage, which was where they were training, and
oh my God.
I don't know. He just seemed like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And you could feel that he loves what he does.
Definitely. Would you want to play for him? Like,
why not? I think every player that's played under him has gotten better. So why not?
It's funny though, because people like the one like criticism that people, and it's not even a criticism. It's just that Pep has always managed teams that are loaded with talent. Like he's never actually managed a bad team. He's worked for Barcelona and Bayern Munich and Manchester City, and the amount of money that they had at their disposal to pay, the world's best players. And so I've always been curious, like what Pep would do with a team that wasn't built on superstars. Like how would Pep do coaching an MLS side, that doesn't have I think it would be such a good test for him. And so I would love for it to happen.
Imagine having a docu-series of Pep bringing a team from like the depths of the table all the way up to glory.
It'd be so good. So good. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm kind of bummed that they lost to Villa on the last, like, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna give them a win. But did you see the tweets from the Villa players? Because they were literally coming off winning the Europa League, and so
they were on a high, yeah.
But they were all hungover. Like Matty Cash and Ollie Watkins are like, how the hell did we do that? And like literally, Matty Cash referenced his hangover because they had celebrated so hard winning Europa League. And I was like, wow, I love the transparency.
I feel like the game has a way of pushing you out, like leaving on a high, like your last win ever and on your own terms is so rare in this game. A lot of people end their playing or coaching career on a loss or an injury or something unfortunate. Losing in the way that they did, like, it's just the game saying, all right, on to the next. See you later. Thanks.
We turn the page. The pages turn. Another big story that we saw in the Premier League that Tottenham. Do you have any friends who are Tottenham fans?
I do. Yes, I do. They get stressed out. No, they get stressed out because, I mean, it was a couple weekends ago where they gave up a goal really late in the game, and you could just see the defeat. Like all the players were totally distraught. They're like, our season's over. They looked like they were getting relegated. No, yeah. But it's tough because as a player, it's your job to win,
Mm-hmm.
to find a way, even when the odds are stacked against you. And they were massively underperforming, in my opinion. So I'm thankful for them that they found a way, because there was far too much money and resources that were poured into this organization to be relegated.
100%. I mean, Tottenham it's one of the, you consider it one of the big clubs in England, and you look at their stadium and mention the roster that they've built, the amount of money that they've played on these players. Like, you going down to the championship would have been an absolute epic disaster for this club. And I mean, I love my Tottenham loving friends, but it has been so awful for them. I breathed such a sigh of relief on Sunday. I was like, okay, guys, it's going to be okay. It has to be better next year. I don't know if it will, but like, it has to be better next year. So getting that result against Everton, and because West Ham, I think they won 3-0. So it would have, it would have been right down to it. So I'm so relieved for my friends who are Tottenham fans, because that would have been, it was just, I wasn't ready to be I was basically a therapist for a few of my friends over the last like 4 or 5 months. It's been like, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to turn around. And then like every week I was like, I don't know if it's going to turn around. It's just nuts that a team of that stature was in that serious danger of getting relegated. Like, it's
love
crazy.
Promotion relegation.
I know,
because it makes so exciting, the drama. I'm like, man, if only American leagues adopted that. Like, I understand why they don't from
USL,
but
apparently it's coming in 2028.
You're right.
So we'll see. That'll be really fun though. And then I've got to mention, as a Liverpool fan, the farewell to Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson, who have just been two sort of pillars of that club and giants of that club. Mo Salah, I think, third most goals in Liverpool history, like the most goal involvements of any Liverpool player. Just what he did during his time there was truly once in a lifetime stuff. And I feel so lucky that I got to watch him for as long as I did. It was so emotional, both him and Robbo at the end when they gave them the Guard of Honor. I was not okay, Brianna.
I mean, 9 years is a long time.
I know.
A really long time to spend at a club.
It is.
But Mo Salah, I think for fans of other teams, like, he's so hard not to like.
I know. And I hate that this season went the way it did, knowing that it was going to be his last season, because I think he announced it a few months ago. But there was just like, clearly he and Arne Slot weren't on the same page, going way back to November. And I wish this season had felt a little less yucky than it did for him, but it does not take away at all the contributions that he gave to Liverpool. And I think the Liverpool supporters, I mean, showed up for Mo. Like, they were there for Mo, and watching the reception that he got and watching him get that emotional was really, it was, I got a little misty.
You devote your blood, sweat, and tears to a club, and it takes special people to stick it out through the ups and the downs. Do you have any predictions of where Salah and Robertson will end up?
Oh God, Robertson, they kept saying Tottenham. Like, there were all these links to Tottenham, and I was like, well, not if they get relegated. So so that's still a possibility. I think Andy Robertson will stay in the Premier League. I think his legs are gone a bit, but he's still such a fighter. He's such a smart footballer. And I think his game awareness, just as an outside back, like, I feel like that is such a position of need for so many teams. And I feel like he can definitely still help a team, even if it's just coming off the bench. And so I think he'll probably stay in the Premier League. Mo, the Saudi Arabia rumors have been there for, going back 2 seasons ago. And so part of me is like, chase that coin, boy. Like, go get paid.
Facts.
Go get paid. Like, I know
that is life-changing money. Here. Look,
that's
That's life changing.
It's literally generational money.
Generational. What did your great grandfather do? Oh, he played soccer.
He played soccer. Like, think about it, Brianna. Like 2 or 3 seasons. Like your kids, their kids, and their kids.
Unbelievably, it's so unbelievable.
They're set. Like they're set. So truly, like I can't judge. I cannot judge because I can't say that I wouldn't do the same darn thing. And yeah, I don't know what that says about me, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's hard truths, So that's our Premier League roundup. But let's transition to the women's game, because we had 2 big finals in the women's game at the weekend. The Women's Champions League final saw Barcelona take down Lyon 4-0. This is now their 4th Champions League title. They lost to Arsenal in the final last year, so it was a little bit of redemption for them. But this is a very, very good Lyon side. And honestly, I think Lyon might have been the better team in the first half.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, our team watched it together. And I don't feel like the scoreline actually reflected the quality that Lyon had. I thought Lily Johannes was incredible in the midfield. She was so smart with her positioning on and off the ball. I thought Lyon generated some quality chances, but ultimately Barcelona were the team that proved to be more clinical in front of net. We talked about Payor and how she's been playing with a chip on her shoulder and was able to nab that brace.
She's insane. And it felt like once Barcelona scored, they just kind of were like shifted into gear, and we're like, all right, here we go. How did you feel about this being Lindsay Heaps's final game for Lyon? And so, it was emotional watching her leave, because she's like, as you said, you give your blood, sweat, and tears to this club. And I know, she's certainly has a bright future with Denver and in the NWSL. But what were your emotions watching her lose this final?
I think leaving any environment is tough because it's what you've known for an extended period of time. And she's probably has such great relationships with obviously her teammates, but everybody that supported the club over the years. But, her legacy will go a long way at this club because she paved the way for young Americans wanting to forego college and play overseas. And she's had an exceptional career. And I know that she'll do great things when she returns to the NWSL. So I think Denver should be extremely excited because she'll bring composure, flair, and the winning mentality that they need to be even more successful. So Lindsay Heaps has done everything and more. And obviously to end her time there on a loss is probably devastating. But I mean, that's back to my point. Like, in transition phases, the game is not nice.
No, it is not. And yeah, you can't write your own script, unfortunately. You can't write your own script, but I you're absolutely right. What she contributed to that club. And even you mentioned Lily Johannes, right? Like, how incredible of an experience for her getting to play alongside a player like Lindsay Heaps, where they share the pitch on the national team side as well, and learning from her and playing at that top level. Like, it's almost like, you said, like she sort of paved this path for the players like Lily Johannes, which is what a legacy to leave, man.
Oh, I mean, the chemistry that they're building at club and country is going to be special, and it's going to benefit them for maybe even years to come. Because it doesn't look like Lindsay Heaps is slowing down. Lily Johannes has like years ahead of her, and will be a world-class player for what will seem like decades. But she's
special.
She's benefited from learning from all of these players that have led the game, and it doesn't get better than that at the club stage, like playing in Champions League. So
no, definitely not.
That experience she'll learn from and grow from, and the world's her oyster moving forward.
Oh my God, so much fun. Also, I want to give a shout out to Eva Payor, who had lost 5 Champions League finals. 5 4
Do you
with
know what type of pain
Wolfsburg.
that is?
I was like, wait, what? When they said it on the broadcast, and I was like, oh, like,
listen, I thought my national championships in college, like losing in back-to-back, going to 3 college cups was painful, but like losing 5 Champions League, I would be sick, like physically ill.
but
kudos to her,
honestly. And she literally, but you could see it, like she was just like, not again, not this time.
She played with a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah,
like she took it. Like, honestly, I think in those games, in a championship match, you just have to make the choice to put the team on your back, and she did just that.
She's
same with Paralueo.
Oh God.
She's world class. I mean, she had 2 left-footed goals, but the left-footed strike to the upper right-hand corner, that was nasty.
No, Barcelona it's just kind of unfair, the level of talent that they have. I mean, she's got to be like the most informed striker in the world right now. It's just insane what she's been able to do. So, I mean, deserving champions. Like I said, I mean, Lyon is such a good team, but Barcelona got the job done when it mattered. And so huge congratulations to them. Let's talk about the CONCACAF W Champions Cup final. It was Club América Femenil taking home the hardware with a 5-3 win over the Washington Spirit. I'm very sorry to our producer, Douglas, who is a diehard Washington Spirit supporter. But this was their second trophy that they've won in basically a week's time after they took home the 2026 Clausura. This game was nuts. It was crazy because America were up 2-1 heading into halftime, and then the Spirit just came out like guns blazing in the second half and took a 3-2 lead after 2 goals from Rosamond Kouassi, only to see America claw back later, and then they won this one 5-3. So it was a wild game, a lot of goals, but for Washington Spirit, like to come back, take the lead and then lose it, like how big of a blow is that for them?
Spirit is such a good team. I just think they have that last step to climb, just how to give over the hump and win a championship. Because in my opinion, they're a well-oiled machine. They have so many talented players all over the field. They know how they want to score, but it seems like in this particular game, they just fell through. But I mean, honestly, my takeaway from this is it's been time to put some respect on Liga MX.
I was going to ask you
because they have so many quality players there. They're finally investing. I hope that the player standards across the board just improve, because it seems like right now, like the top 4 or 5 clubs are the ones that have taken it and run with it. But it's time to get the rest of the league up. But again, I think they have quality sides, and I think CONCACAF W is such a huge point of growth for the women's game, because we get to see all of these world-class players that have been previously overlooked. So, I mean, JC and Scarlett Gamberos, she's obviously played in the NWSL, but seeing her rise to the occasion and seeing their chemistry together was really, really cool.
Do you feel like other players in NWSL kind of share your sentiment about Liga MX Femenil and just, kind of how they are sort of elevating their stature on the global soccer stage?
Most definitely. I mean, it was great that we played the NWSL times Liga MX tournament last year. And, it just brings more exposure, more opportunities to play, more environments where you can grow in a pro setting. So I think, more investment in the women's game benefits everybody, because it requires each club to just pour more resources into it, because there are so many talented players out there ready to be seen and take the world by storm. So I think this was a beautiful showing of Club America and all that they have to offer.
All right, Brianna, time to get into some World Cup roster announcements. We are literally like 3 weeks away from the start of this thing, which feels nuts. But it also means that we are starting to see a bunch of these rosters being drops, and some are even getting leaked. Brianna, over the weekend, The Guardian announced that they had gotten a hold of the full U.S. Men's National Team World Cup roster, and they posted it on their socials. And, beyond the names that were on this list, and there were definitely some surprises, which we'll hit on. I was like, how does who's leaking this? Is this US soccer? Like, what is there a benefit for US soccer to leak this information before the announcement? Because they're supposed to have this huge announcement broadcast on Fox today. This is Tuesday when we're recording it. And I'm thinking, what?
We can't have anything anymore. Nothing special. What? Social media has ruined everything. Because, see, boo to whoever leaked it.
What?
Because
yes.
Why can't we be surprised anymore? I think the other thing is, from what I've heard, I cannot verify this on my own, but it seems like roster decisions were announced via email.
Oh.
So it's like, in the age of technology, any email could be screenshotted and shared. So if you are unfortunately one of those players that are left off and you let your friends or family or loved ones know, like, it won't take long before it's major news.
No, and I actually, once I found out that, and like you said, we don't know if this is true, but it is reported that players were informed via email whether or not they made this squad. I was like, it could have been one disgruntled player that leaked it. It could have been an agent, that was like, screw this, like, I'm giving this to the media. I hate that. I hate the email thing, Brianna, so much. I think it is so disrespectful to not have a phone conversation, an actual conversation, whether or not it's good news or bad news. Show the player the respect they deserve, especially for the ones that have been a part of the buildup to this. And to me, it was like such a slap in the face, like a Diego Luna, who everyone, and myself included, Brianna, I thought he was a lock. I thought he was an absolute lock.
I'm so upset about it. I don't want to talk about it. I know that's why we're here, but man.
Like, I truly, he played such a vital role over the past year in the buildup to the 2026 World Cup. And Poch seemed to love him, like loved his grit, his fighting spirit, the way he played coming off the bench. I really was shocked. And then to know that, like, he didn't even give Diego Luna the courtesy of a phone call to say, hey, I'm sorry, this, it's not going to happen this year. Like, I just hate it. It makes me obviously angry. And I'm curious to get your take on the impersonal aspect of that.
I mean, you couldn't have said it better. It's disrespectful. And, a tournament of this magnitude has an undeniable effect on the trajectory of someone's career. And they have dedicated so many hours of their time, their energy, their passion, their love for the game into the national team, trying to get this team to its potential. So not even offering them a phone call or an in-person conversation, it's really disappointing more than anything. But with respect to Diego Luna, I think he embodies everything it means to be an American. And he was without a doubt one of my favorite players on this team. And to see him be left off the roster, especially after he was included in so many different marketing things.
Like, oh my gosh,
that really, really threw me for a loop, to be honest with you.
It's so, and he got left off the Olympic roster back in, I think it was at 23. And, I talked to him. I did at least like 3 or 4 interviews with him, and he was like, yes, I'm going to play with a chip on my shoulder because I think I deserve to be there. And then to watch him play so well for Real Salt Lake, be such an integral part of that team and their success, to then have the opportunity with the U.S. men's national team, earn the supposed trust of Pochettino. I was so delighted for him. I was like, what a great story. What a great story this is. And to me, Diego Luna represents the type of player that we have been missing on the U.S. men's national team roster. That guy, he just goes after it. Hard-nosed, just all the grit. And playing with the chip on his shoulder, like Clint Dempsey, right? first to admit, like,
Dempsey was my favorite player.
Always played with a chip on his shoulder. He's the best.
Always.
He's the best. The man did not want to lose. He's just such a competitor. And to me, Diego Luna embodies that spirit. And I am gutted because when I look at the roster, and outside of that, and maybe like a Tanner Tessman not being included, I wasn't super shocked by any of the players that were included on this. But my God, like, we need that edge. We need that edge when you look at this player pool. And I really think that is something that is going to be sorely missing and needed in a World Cup, Brianna.
Yeah, it's the grit piece, because yes, you want to bring your best players, whatever that means to the coaching staff, but you need character in that locker room, because World Cups are not simple. Nothing goes exactly how you plan it. You're not going to just get 3 wins at the gate in advance. It's not going to look like that. You need people who are going to light a fire under the guys in the locker room, who are going to bring the competitive spirit, the belief, just the true embodiment of what it means to be an American to a world tournament. And I think not having Diego Luna is a huge miss.
I agree.
Not to mention, does it alienate like the Mexican American population?
I mean,
I think again, I know that the priority is to choose who you believe are the best players and to win. Sure. However, if our mission is to make soccer the preeminent sport in the United States, you need people like that, because we are our best when we embrace the diversity that this country has to offer, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And, I will say, like, the Alex Indejas, he hit inclusion. That maybe checks that box, but like Diego Luna, he's Mexican American. He plays in Major League Soccer. Like, that's who we need more of. How did you feel about the inclusion of Gio Reyna in this? Because that's another very hot button topic so far.
I mean, Gio Reyna has World Cup experience, and clearly they trust him. He hasn't played a ton, but maybe they're seeing something different in the training environment, because from all accounts that I've heard, like, he is a talented player when he's at his best. So my hope is that he goes to the tournament and really proves it and has just, again, that chip on his shoulder, because a lot of people have questioned his inclusion. So use that as motivation to prove all of the naysayers wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a huge opportunity for Gio Reyna, who just has not been able to find his way on the club side of things, and barely getting minutes in Germany at Mönchengladbach. And, if he is a significant contributor for the US in this World Cup, we always talk about, like, this is the stage, like, this is literally the stage. So it's a huge opportunity for him. I question fitness. Just like where he's at. When you haven't played, I mean, what it's like when you haven't played. Like,
it's hard.
It's
the
hard.
Return to play is hard, because you got to build game fitness. You've got to like the mental fortitude to get through the 90 minutes, the belief in like what you're doing on the field. All of that takes time, and clearly, like, the club aspect has not gone the way that he had envisioned. But
no,
I hope that this is a rebirth for him, given how the last World Cup went, and I hope that he can bring like added maturity and learn from those moments of disappointment and channel it all into his game and figure out how to be a difference maker for this US team.
I agree. And I do think that, when he is in form, when he has been in form, he has been arguably our most talented player. He has shown that, but it's just, we've seen it so sporadically. And so there's not been consistency. And so that's just, of course it's going to be a huge question, but we are not Mauricio Pochettino, and we do not make these decisions. So it's going to be very interesting. Overall, though, Brianna, for you, when you looked at the roster, like, do you feel like this is a team that can safely get out of the group stage, potentially, maybe make it to a quarterfinal? Like, do these names instill that kind of hope in you? And you can be very honest.
Potentially.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. 100%.
I don't know. I want to believe. I do think home field advantage is going to take us a long way. I do think the 48 team tournament is going to take us a long way because they're just added chances to advance. And I think a lot of things have to go our way.
I agree.
We have to be so good defensively, but I think we're going to have to generate a lot of goals in order to advance, to be honest with you. So listen, I'm rooting for this team. I want them to go as far as they possibly can. I really want them to capitalize on the opportunity that it will have on the landscape of North American soccer. I want them to galvanize fans across North America, but it is going to be an uphill climb, in my opinion.
It is. It's going to be a massive test, and I think it is such a good barometer because we've been talking about this tournament for so long. You know, if we don't get out of the group, if we don't go on maybe a little bit of a run, we're going to know exactly where we stand on the global stage. So we don't have long to wait, Brianna. It's all happening very soon.
You know, that's the craziest part. Like, I feel like we blinked and it's here.
It's here.
Like, again, for me, like 8 years ago, like being involved in the bid, and it just feels like we're still a little bit unprepared.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's the most disappointing part because it's like, you know, for me as a fan of the game, I looked forward to like welcoming the rest of the world to this tournament and celebrating all the different cultures and seeing all these different stadiums and cities that get to celebrate global football. And
agreed.
I just feel like there's so many other distractions going on.
We can still do that, I think. And I think it's our responsibility to focus on those things, right? Like the beauty of the World Cup and all the different cultures that are going to be coming together. And I think we will see that. My biggest hope is that the failures that we've seen in the infrastructure of this tournament don't drastically take away from that and the true beauty of the World Cup and why people want to watch in the first place. And I think it will happen. It's inevitable. Like, I just feel like there are going to be some sort of hiccups, but if we, like, I think that's, as the media, if you will, like, we can keep focusing on the positive things and the reason why we love this tournament so much and why we get so excited every 4 years for it to come around. So we're gonna be cheerleaders, aren't we? That's just,
we sure are.
That's it. World Cup, baby. Also, there's a lot of things that have been making me excited about this. I told you it's kind of like starting to percolate for me. These World Cup roster announcements that have come out have been so fun. So fun. And I loved seeing the different character of all of them, because I feel like with a lot of the different countries, it was so evident, like, what their identity is within these announcements. And they were so cool. So I picked out a few. So we're going to run through a few of them and just weigh in on our thoughts. We're going to start with one of the darlings, I will say, of this 2026 World Cup in Curacao. This the Blue Wave. So basically this is a video, and there is a DJ and he's starting J-On, and he's just singing, and he's in a studio. One second. And it's a sick beat, to be fair. A little boy brings him a list, which I believe is the roster. And he says, yeah, oh yeah. And now he's excited. And he gets back on the mic and just starts shouting names out to a beat.
So this reminds me of, there's like an AI France song that went viral on TikTok, and it's like, Dembele, Porcola, like, and they sing it to the beat. So like, I love stuff like this because you can feel the flavor and the culture of their music come through in the announcement.
100%. Yeah, Curacao.
But it's all cute. Vibes. It's fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And this is their first time qualifying. And it's like, this is such a big deal. And I love that they just like leaned into who they are. All the vibes. Well done, Curacao. Okay. Next up, totally different vibes in this next one, Brianna. Let's look at the Scotland announcement.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Oh, just casually. Oh, that's Ewan McGregor.
You've always been an easy country to love.
Narrating. I mean, I could listen to this man read the phone book. I love a Scottish accent so much.
See, the storytelling aspect is what makes it special. And I think this is like honestly the new types of TV, these short films that are becoming really popular because so many people are consuming content online, like whether that's Twitter, Threads, or Blue Sky.
I love this too because they showcase like the Highlands, and so they show the landscape of Scotland, which is absolutely stunning, and then the football culture and the fans of all ages, and then Ewan McGregor, who is one of their biggest stars, narrating this in this beautiful dramatic way. It's very special. Very, very special because this is their first time back in a very long time as well. So I am so excited to see Scotland fans in the US, Brianna. I feel like they are going to be out of control, but like in the most fun, unhinged way. Because I
totally agree.
Have you been to Scotland?
I have not, but I've heard so many great things because I have friends that play in Scotland, and they say that the people rally, the bar culture around soccer is so special.
Unreal. It's unreal. And they're such lovely people. Yeah. They're such lovely people, but they like to get after it. And so I feel like they are really going to make their presence very known in North America in a few weeks. And I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see it. All right. Up next, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Okay. So this one, again, just completely different in its tone. This one made me tear up a little.
Look how beautiful it is there.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And it like gives you a chance to like see what all of these beautiful countries look like and step into their culture for just a moment while the roster is being announced.
Like, would I ever know that there are these beautiful bridges and castles in Bosnia-Herzegovina? Absolutely not. No, I would not. Do I want to be sitting at that table drinking a coffee overlooking that? Yes, I do. Like, get me there. So this is where it kills me. So these are family members and friends of all of the players included, and they got the families to announce the players on camera. And I was like, this is just, it's just too much. It's so sweet and heartfelt and just hits you right in the feels, and I love it so much. They made it so personal, didn't they, Brianna?
The reason I love stuff like this is we've had over the course of my career, we've had our families like send like good luck wishes or just small announcements of like personal achievements, and these are the people that helped them get to this world stage, that supported them through thick and thin, that believed in them before anybody else did. So to have their families included in a squad announcement, I think is just so special, so touching, and it shows like the family aspect of how they're going to lean on each other throughout this tournament.
Oh, I loved it so much. Okay, the next one is coming from France, and as you would expect from France, like, it is polished, it is clean, it is cool, it's got this 90s sitcom vibe, it is so well produced. And yeah, it's like all the guys like just doesn't it give you 90s sitcom vibes?
It sure does.
Like, they're just like sitting around eating breakfast. The fonts that they use.
I want to know what it took to film this.
I know. A lot of money, which they clearly have. Also, when I saw the names on this France roster, Brianna, I was like, if they don't win this World Cup.
No, this is without a doubt the best team in the tournament.
And I understand that
on paper.
On paper, exactly. On paper, it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing all together and you mash all this talent together. Like, it has to be cohesive, it has to gel, and that's a tall task. But based on talent alone and these names, I was like, my God, everyone else is in trouble.
Look, I would fear that.
It's not fair.
It's actually not fair.
It's not fair.
how do they have so much talent packed in what feels like a tiny little place compared to America? Does that make sense?
No, completely. And the depth of this team, like they are stacked at every position. It is insane. And we all know that depth is what you need in a World Cup. So yeah, well done, France. You nailed it, of course. Also, your team is annoyingly good. So that's my take on that. But I saved the best for last, Brianna, because this one, obviously, I am a Liverpool fan. I grew up listening to the Beatles. My parents were huge Beatles fans, and so I've been a Beatles fan for my entire life. And England, when I saw the announcement that they put out, I was like, well, this wins. And we are not going to play the audio because we don't want to get in trouble here on Kickback Committee. There are a whole host of rights issues, and we want to keep our money in our pockets. But basically, they're playing Come Together, which is one of the most epic Beatles songs of all time. And a guy is running through, looks like the streets of London. And it's just so cool. Flashes of the England jersey.
I just love like what everyone's wearing.
And it's the streetwear. So it's like they're showing real people. And then like on the back of their shirts, it'll say like Bellingham, Stones, and like a street sign with someone's name on it. And then
they're
they go
superstars.
into this, yes, and then they go into this yellow submarine animation thing, which is obviously quintessential Beatles. And then they utilize that as a way to put up the names. Jarrell Kwanzaa in the font. Like it was just, this to me.
I can't help but smile watching this.
It's so good. It's so good. It got me fired up, and like I'm clearly not cheering for England in this World Cup, but man, did I love it. This one's great. Bellingham, the girl with the Bellingham kid on in doing line dancing in like Nashville. It's great. It's just so good. Oh
man,
stop it. See, if this doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. This is
and I like that it's slow and it brings like a nice flow between animated content and like actual real life filmed content.
Oh,
it was done so tastefully.
Standing ovation. No notes for me.
10 out of 10.
England. 10 out of 10 from both of us. So good. All right, Brianna, before we wrap this thing up, as we do, we always chat a little TV talk. Have you been? There's like so many soccer documentaries out right now. Like
sure.
It's been kind of amazing, and I realize everyone's trying to capitalize on this moment, as they should. But like Netflix in particular has released like all of these soccer documentaries on like Ronaldinho and Jamie Vardy and the Liverpool Champions League win in 2005. Have you been watching?
I like the Ronaldinho one just because like Ronaldinho is one of the people who made me fall in love with the game.
Yeah,
and he's still a superstar. The way he carries himself, he has so much like pizzazz, flair, swag. Like I don't have words to describe it, but he embodies what it's like to be a footballer because he really lives and breathes the game. And then the way he dresses is so cool. So just, seeing his story and his rise to stardom was really inspiring. The
documentary is really good too, because I love how much they leaned into interviewing his teammates, his former teammates, including like R9 and Leo Messi. Like that was so cool because we rarely hear from Leo Messi, and the way that they talk about Ronaldinho and the impact that he had on them and their games and their career, I thought was so fascinating and interesting. I did Baller League for the last 10 weeks in Miami, and Ronaldinho was one of the managers of the Midnight Wizards, who made it to the final, sadly lost. But he showed up twice, which we were so stoked about. Like, honestly, we were all like, he's not going to come. But then we'd hear like rumors. We're like, oh, we think Ronaldinho is going to be here today. And truly, like the aura of this man is unlike any human I have ever met in my life. And I've been very lucky in my career to meet some like very, very prominent figures. This man just exudes impeccable aura, and he is, like you said, his style, like the stuff that he's wearing, and the glasses and the Kangol hat. He is so authentically him, and it maybe on any other player it would look ridiculous, but like
it's so him
on that man, I was like, it is perfection. And he is he's so humble. Like, he does not like to talk. Like, he never wants to talk about himself. Like, hates it. And apparently, this is very funny, little inside info. He puts on the pretense that he does not speak English. Apparently, he speaks perfect English.
He just speaks English.
He just chooses not to. And so, so we would because he understands it just fine, but then would answer in Portuguese, where we're like, hold on, like, wait,
that's what I think is so cool about soccer culture, because you play in a locker room with so many people from around the world. You pick up on different languages. Some of these people are so intelligent and speak so many different languages.
I know, it is incredible. It's really incredible. But yeah, he's like this enigma. I got to shake his hand and I thought I was going to pass out, and he smelled really good. Whatever cologne he's wearing, it's a lot of it, but
I saw your story and I was like, wow, you've done it. You've done it. Like, what more is there to do?
My husband took this screenshot of me like interviewing him and sent it out to the whole family, and they're like, well, Susannah's just dunked on literally like everyone. Like, no one will top this. And I was like,
were you shaking?
Completely. I was, and like,
you had to play it cool though.
Sweating. I started sweating. So I was just like, wait, this is like what? And then it felt really surreal. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? Like, how is this real? It was something special. I'm very eternally grateful for that opportunity. I will never forget it. So yeah, you guys check out that documentary. I think that one's on Netflix for sure. It's really, really good. Worth your time, and certainly ahead of a World Cup. Anything else you're paying attention to that's captured your fancy lately?
Not really, but I need to watch the U.S. men's national team, U.S. against the world.
Yeah,
it's definitely on my list right before the World Cup.
It's very well done. It starts, at Qatar in 2022 and kind of follows their journey. My only issue right now is that they really did not address at all the whole Reina Berhalter issue. And they kind of glossed over like Greg getting fired and then getting rehired again. Like, it was just, they didn't really go there. And I read something that the directors and the producers were like, well, we felt like that aspect of the story was basically its own documentary in itself. Like, we would have had to go interview like the Reinas and the Berhalters, and like then it becomes they're like it became too much, and we wanted this to just be focused on the team. And so I was like, okay, like I kind of understand that explanation for it. I still would have liked to seen a little bit of context, because if it is about the team, that affects the team,
especially since both sons will be on the team for the World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I was like, man, kind of a missed opportunity. But other than that, it's been really, really well done, and a cool peek behind the curtain. I think they're releasing the episodes slowly, so I haven't watched the third episode. I think I've only watched 2 episodes, so I think there's 3.
I do want to shout out Sebastian Berhalter though. I went to college with him, and his ascent to the national team has been really special to see. I think his dead ball restarts are exceptional. And he has performed so well in the MLS, and I think the fact that he gets to be on a World Cup roster and following the footsteps of his dad is really, really neat, and his mom. Let me make sure that I acknowledge her.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really cool that he has this opportunity.
Love that. Aw, I didn't know you guys were buds. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Brianna, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Always a pleasure to have you on. We love having you as a committee member, and good luck next weekend. And I hope you enjoy this little break. And yeah, we're always cheering for you, my friend.
Thank you. I sincerely appreciate it.
Of course. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you download and subscribe to Kickback Committee. And of course, check out all our other podcasts, including Soccer Wise, First Touch, and Open Mic. Subscribe to our newsletters. Give us a follow on the socials. And most importantly, tell your friends, because you can be the cool one that's like way ahead of the curve. And, you know, you're like, guys, I already know where to get all the good World Cup information. And it's Kickback Committee. So you can be that person if you tell your friends. I'm just saying. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll see you next time.